Another frosty day. Very, very thick frost around in the fields. I just love getting close up and seeing all the delicate leaf formation. And the sun trying to come through, isn't it lovely? Hello, the postman's just been and we're just opening up a box from the White Company. It's three, I know what's in it, 3 hand creams that I ordered, same one, called Blanc. And this is when people stop me and say, what perfume are you wearing? I put it on my clothes rather than on my skin necessarily. It's soft on the skin, on the hands, but as with all hand creams, you will find that your hands do still get dry after a while because your natural bugs aren't on your skin. And I learnt that from Dr. Eric Berg. He's a brilliant doctor on YouTube who talks about all sorts of things. He's helped me through so many issues. And he always says that you have to get the bugs back on your hands. He was saying after COVID with all the hand sanitizers, you have to put like an egg wash to put the natural bugs back on your hands to stop them feeling so dry. But anyway, I don't fancy doing that at the moment, but I bought this because I do like it as a perfume on my clothing and it lasts. And I find that I have bought perfumes, many different types of perfumes, and they don't always last. So that's me with my little box. What a pretty little box. And I was a bit worried as well because I was listening to Stephen Bartlett, a podcast yesterday with a toxicologist who used to work in the perfume and flavourings industry, and she was saying don't buy anything that's got perfume in, don't have a log burner because of all the toxic particles in the air. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, I've got to keep warm somehow. And she was saying that the amount of things that have got perfumes in, children's items, you know, she couldn't find things that weren't perfumed. She said it's overloading the senses and not great for the brain and everything else, so slightly concerning. I don't tend to have diffusers in the house and I don't have those plug-ins because they make my chest bad, but for the occasional candle, I do put candles on occasionally if I've had cooking smells. I open the windows all the time, so I think if you've got plenty of airflow and you're not in a sealed unit, then maybe that's not as bad. But maybe we'll need in the future to start getting monitors to check the toxic airflow. But yeah, I always like to listen to these podcasts. They give a good idea of what we're not always aware of sometimes. And Dr. Eric Berg, he's so good on various tips. Making your own toothpaste with bicarbonate of soda, and which is what they call baking soda in America, and a few drops of clove oil and peppermint. And he has 3% hydrogen peroxide added to it to give the cleaning effect, bleach effect on your teeth to get stains off. He was saying that you really shouldn't have fluoride being pumped into everything because it's not great for the body. So, you know, what's been happening for the last 100 years? We've had fluoride toothpaste, haven't we? So it makes you wonder, doesn't it, the way things come and go in society. So on that note, I'm still going to have my hand cream. I do like a nice fresh smell, and yeah, see how I go. In addition to my nativity scene that I just put on the table, I just put some ribbon that I bought from HomeSense a few weeks ago. It's a lovely ribbon, nice and simple with the word joy. I blue tacked it along, and when I find my red reindeer, I shall put them on the mantelpiece. I won't put any foliage because I have the fire on, it gets very hot. But yeah, more of a Scandi look, I think, for this year's theme. And it's 4 weeks to Christmas now. Normally I don't decorate till mid-December, but as I'm on YouTube, I thought I'd just get bits and bobs out. I won't be getting my tree yet. I always get a real tree. I shall get it in a few weeks, I think, and show you when I've decorated. And yeah, I think with the snow coming this week, it's made me feel more in the mood. Yeah, it's the beginning of Advent, isn't it? We're supposed to have a fun fair in the town today in Droitwich, but because of the wind and rain and storm Bert on the way and 80-mile-an-hour winds, they can't have the fun fair. That's had to be cancelled. But they are having some internal stalls in a hall, and they are switching on the lights with the Salvation Army, I think, later. So we'll try and get some video footage of that. But yeah, other than that, all quiet on the home front. Bought this new tablecloth from Dunelm. It's a nice tartany green base with a bit of red in. So I thought I'd cover my wipeable table and make it a bit more Christmassy. So I'm hoping it fits. So let's have a look. I think cotton. Well, here is the tablecloth. It's very big. I bought the one that says 178 by 230 centimetres or 70 by 90 inches, and it's definitely got some good width in it. I know I've got a narrow table, so yeah, plenty to go round, and it's very Scottish. Not that I'm Scottish, but you know what I mean, Christmassy, I think. Christmassy. I shared the other day that I actually made the 2 wreaths for the top of the windows. I wasn't sure where to put them, so they're quite nice from when you look outside looking in, because they twinkle in the sunlight, and you can see me just looking at them now. So they're tinsel round the white cream polystyrene ring. So I did 2 and hung them up. And here I've decided for the gates outside, because I wasn't sure what to do, just to buy these yesterday from, from Home Bargains in the UK. I think they were £1.99 each. Possibly £2.99, but no more than that. I'm sure they were £1.99. And then I bought these little hangers. They go on the gate. Very inexpensive. And I'm going to put lights around. I was thinking of foliage, and I just don't think it's going to work because I haven't got that much in the garden that's long enough to wrap. Years ago, I had lots of fir trees, and that would have been perfect to give some bulk. But I think a bit of holly sprigged in, and some fairy lights, battery operated, will do it. You know, they'll look nice. So I'm going to do that. Or to have a go with some greenery from the garden. And there isn't much in the garden, but I've got this variegated bush and some rose hips and plenty of rosemary. So you never know what it turns out like. I've got some wire which I had in stock anyway from ages ago. So I might put pieces through and bend it round if I can. So let's see how we go, because it'd be quite nice to have them on the actual gate, and the gates I'm talking about are over there. So I think they can't look quite nice of a night time, especially if you've got lights on as well. So let's see how we go. I'll just alter this little camera. When I say camera, I haven't got a Canon 4X like a lot of people. I've only got a Google Pixel mobile phone. It's a Google Pixel 7, I think, not even the latest one. So yes, it's not in 4K, but we have it in HD. I record it in HD as well, so I'm hoping that the clarity is okay for you. So let's begin. So these have already got a piece of twine all the way around, so I'm going to have a little play. That's the first one. I'll carry on. Well, I've never made a wreath before, a proper one, and this wicker ring is really good because it enables you to just force the pieces of branches through the already bits of twine that are circling around the ring. So that's stage 2. It's got rosemary in and this variegated leaf, and the smell is nice because of the rosemary, which is good. I think it's working out okay, and I can trim anything that's a bit out of order. But I'm pretty pleased with that so far. I'm going to put some little red berries in, which are the rose hip, and a bit of holly that I've just found in a corner. So I shall carry on. Not sure if you can see in this light, but there's the 2 done. I'm going to put some battery lights on, and I'll show you them in the dark later as well, so that we can see how they look. Not bad for £1.99 each, and a bit of foliage from the garden if you can get it. So I'm very pleased with that actually, because I didn't want to spend £20–30 on each one. They're quite expensive in the shops, and this is real foliage.
Then could you please inform to Danny? She's asking why it's so going.
One more line.
Yeah.
Here I've decided to write one Christmas card and to use my little sealer, which is a brass seal stamp and some little wax melts that you melt over some heat. You can heat them over a candle, or I use the gas oven just to heat the wax, and then use my stamp pad on the back of the envelope as well. I always think it makes it look a bit more special. So if I can find the pads, the stamp colour pads, I'll link them. The actual We Three Kings pad is from Noolibird, who produce nice stamps. So just putting a couple of wax melts into my little pot, heating it over the gas. As I say, you can heat it over anything like a little candle, and away you go. You just pour it onto the back of your envelope and press your brass seal down hard. And I bought a brass seal one so that it lasted. Some are just like metals that aren't too good, so you just have to check out your seals. Mine's got 2 little bells on, which is quite appropriate for Christmas, and I think it looks nice, and it looks like you've made an effort with your card, I think. And of course I always write in a fountain pen like Ebenezer Scrooge. What's for tea? This is pork stroganoff with 3 mustards, except the fact that I'm not using a pork tenderloin and slicing it up into little bits of pork. I'm already in the air fryer cooking off 2 thick pork steaks, and I'm going to just do the sauce in this pan, which is 110 grams of small open cap mushrooms, or 4 ounces if you're an ounce girl or boy like me, 1 level teaspoon of mustard powder. If you can't get it, which I haven't been able to, I've actually just used English mustard. Mix the mustard with a heaped teaspoon of whole grain mustard and a heaped teaspoon of Dijon mustard, along with 200 millilitres of creme fraiche. Now my creme fraiche pot came in 300 millilitre size. I just made sure I left some left in the pot. And you mix your creme fraiche with your mustards, and that forms the base of your sauce, along with a small onion, obviously chopped first, and 3 fluid ounces or 75 millilitres of dry white wine. So you mix off your onions in your butter with your mushrooms, add a bit of wine, which I don't think I've shown you here, put in that creme fraiche with the mustards, and I've just put the pork back in, but if you had little strips of pork you'd have cooked those off, and you have a lovely tasting dinner. And as I say, it's Delia Smith from her winter collection, and I've got all her books, because in the 90s I used to love watching her in the UK. So you may have other cooks that you watch, but she was very clear in her instruction, and her recipes are very, very good. And then there's band practice with our new guitarist on the left, Josh, and drummer of the year finalist Christian, and David sitting there in the yellow pants, nice and bright. So they're practicing away down in the cellar, so there's always something going on here. This is a random insert. It's me and my eldest sister Susan when we were at school, and I think it was my first school photograph when I was 5. Don't you think my sister looks like the BBC test card? Goodness me, she does. And yeah, we always thought that with her headband. I think I'd cried just before the photograph because I didn't like my dress, but there you go.
And may all your Christmases be bright.
As ever, thanks for watching. See you again next week, and have a lovely week if you can. Bye for now.